Welcome to another episode. Today we're talking about how to stand out from your competition. We're actually going over 4 or 5 different things that you can actually implement today in your business. Things like naming your products and services, things like how to become a local authority, and that one thing that will catapult you 200% and blow you away from competition. Check it out.
This is the Marketing Natives, providing actionable ways to grow, improve, and succeed in your business. And now, your hosts, Christian and Aaron.
All right, so I think that we've actually created a blog post about this, 2016. I was just redoing it because I was like, oh, this is something that was resonated with our audience back then, but we wrote a blog post about it. And now I figured it would be really good to put a podcast out there about the competition.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Or I didn't remember that we did that.
Another one would be that we need to add into is how to sell without selling. A lot of people jumped on that, and we did. I don't know if you remember, but I had the YouTube pillow, and I was pushing it into your face, telling you buy this.
Now.
Yes. But yeah, I think that one of the questions we get a lot is, hey, how do I stand out, or how do I, differentiate? There's so many people, and I guess we get it ourselves too. It's there's a marketing agency. There's probably 5 marketing agencies inside of our building. Who knows? But
and I think that it's also one of those things that if you're a brand new business owner, you're like, oh, what makes you different?
No clue.
Yeah, they don't have a lot to say, I guess, or they're like, oh, we're family owned, or little things like that. That's yeah, but there's also other ones that are family owned that do the exact same thing.
Or we pride ourselves on great customer service.
Right. Yeah.
I hear that a lot.
Ones, yeah.
We're gonna have the best customer service ever. There was a food truck I was talking to. I mean, you know them. I won't call them out. But I was like, hey, what makes you guys different? I mean, obviously their food is Latin cuisine, and they're like, oh, we're Latin cuisine. I was like, okay, cool. What makes it different about your Latin cuisine? We're going to focus on customer service. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. But, I mean, is it spicier? Is it you get some kind of experience? Do you always get a little tiki umbrella? I don't know. So, anyway, today we're going to talk about tips for you guys to help you stand out from the competition. And I think it's easier for us to say now because we're looking, like I said, the tips we gave back then were good, but they weren't, I guess, as proven as they are now, or not as much experience, so a little bit more experience here.
So are any of these repeating from the blog post, or are these all brand new?
They are somewhat, there's some of them that are similar, but I think we can add so much more context to it because number one, or the first thing we have here is to zig when people zag. So we did this, we just didn't know it. For example, I said, okay, well, everybody's telling you hey, you need to have a blog post. And we were like, okay, well, how can we create our own video series? And same thing for the podcast. At the time, people were like, oh, let's do a blog or let's do a video series. And then we said, okay, well, let's do a podcast. There's not very many people there. So when everybody else is doing one thing, you should probably find a different way. I mean, there's a lot of proven ways to reach out to your audience, but think about a different way of doing things other than just saying, all right, this marketing agency and this marketing agency, they both have a podcast. What makes them different? I don't know. Versus this one has a vlog or something that's different, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I think also look at this first one, when people zag. It's also, I think, taking risks. So you could be the agency that's on TikTok, right? Given marketing advice or just marketing news or whatever.
Right.
Where a lot of people are not doing that right now. So that makes you very unique. You're in the forefront of whatever new technology that comes out. And I think at the beginning, we did a little bit of that with Snapchat.
Yeah.
Where we were kind of posting in there, but it was just, it was hard and time consuming because we were trying to do everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say do everything at once, but be daring enough and take the risk of jumping in on something that's maybe brand new,
right?
Or that not a lot of people are going towards, right? I mean, you said it yourself. If you're doing everyone's saying do blogs, then okay, do a video series instead. Same with everyone's telling you, oh, you need to go to Facebook, right? That's where everyone's at on Facebook. Well, forget Facebook. Let's do TikTok, and
right?
Be the TikTok agency. So yeah, I think it's about also taking risks and looking at what's new and trending, I guess, or what's about to be trending.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of how we were looking at video, what we were looking at podcast. And I don't know, maybe we'll do some TikTok stuff.
Hopefully in the future. I think once we get these operating procedures done, I really want to get into TikTok. It's just like my brain tells me, yes, let's go there. I have ideas. Let's do it now. But we got to get the infrastructure first. So be looking out for TikToks for us in the future. But all right, so the next one we have is something that we've done for ourselves. We have our Leads Accelerator program, which you'll hear about a little bit later. We've named it Website Overhaul. We've named it. Those are all specifics, but you could do like, oh, we do social media marketing, or we do website design. Or for example, if you're a dentist, like, oh, we offer teeth whitening versus like the complete, I don't know. I know a dental company here in McKinney, so we'll shout them out. Like the Illume Dental Experience. Like this whole experience is like you get an examination, you get an X-ray, you get a free teeth whitening, you get this particular kit, and then you have this 7-day at-home kit. Like that's the Illume Dental Experience versus just, hey, come in and get free teeth whitening. Or like if you're a roofer, hey, get a free roof inspection. Like that's just the exact same. There's no way you can stand out because it's the same offer. Like how do I know you're better than somebody else if I'm just comparing apples to apples versus something different?
Yeah. So yeah, naming your products or your services.
Yeah.
And I think we also allude to the packaging of certain things. But yeah, I think that what we want to point across is naming your service is something a little bit different or more unique. That will definitely make you stand out. Like you said, we could on our website we could say, oh, we offer website design, or we have our website overhaul package. Right? That definitely, I mean, you look at any other agency and
nobody has that.
Yeah, website design, website development, and that's it. So yeah, it definitely makes you stand out and it makes you very unique.
Yeah, and this could be done for anybody. And like I said, we labeled ours website overhaul or leads accelerator. Like it's lead generation and a website literally redesign. We just changed the name to do it for ourselves. You don't have, like, I don't think the name matters nearly as much as actually naming it. Like that's more important.
So number 3, we have become a local authority, basically building your brand. And I think we've done this from the get-go with our company, just making sure that we're putting out content, right? And that we're actually doing the networking and that we're pairing the two. For example, when we talked about the beginning, we wanted to educate people and educate business owners. And we do that through our video, our podcast, but then also we take our 30-second commercials during our networking, and we also take the opportunity to educate business owners. So I think we've combined that online and in person, and sort of push forward this education agenda, right? Anytime you talk to us, you're going to learn something new. And I think that's pushed us to become that local authority, become that person or that expert that, oh, anyone has questions about social media, website design,
you need
to go to these guys.
And it's also, it's built up demand for something. So instead of us just telling them what they should buy, it's more of a, hey, we know the answers to this. So everybody just looks at it as like, this is a resource for something versus, where do I go? Because they could find any other marketing agency. But if they're like, oh, we're looking for an answer, these guys have done a video on it. They've done a podcast. They obviously know what they're talking about. Hey, local business owners, if you're ready to grow your business online without having to work more in your business and you can spend more time on it, we created a free training on how to attract, qualify, and convert more leads online. It's 38 minutes. It's going to take a little bit of your time, but it's going to have a huge benefit. It's completely free. Make sure you click below in the description, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on the podcast, everything's there that you need. Go grab the training now. All right, so the next one we have is consistency. And up until the pandemic, the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you'd like to call it, you've probably heard of it at this point, depending on when you're listening to this. It's potentially going on still, hopefully not. But I guess my point from that is that up until that point, we did a video show every week, and I think we maybe missed 2 times, maybe, in 4 years. And we're going to bring that back, just as an FYI. We just haven't told anybody, so sneak preview. But we've done a video series, like kind of a high production video series every week for 4 years. And that's the consistency that people need. Like they need to know that it's going to be the same time or the same day or whatever, or at least the same day, knowing that, hey, this is coming out or this is the content that we're producing. And it also helps with being that local authority. But also it helps you become better too. It's that I guess that little taste into like who you guys are, and it just helps you to feel like, okay, these guys are gonna be around a while. I feel like that just makes me feel, or like helps me at ease knowing that, oh, they just don't just post one time. They're actually around. They're gonna be putting out content. They're gonna stay in business, I guess.
So you're saying consistency with posting on social media?
I think consistency with, I mean, I'm talking about social media, but I think with anything, like it could be your messaging too. Like if you say like, we'll do a website for $12, and then 3 weeks later, like we'll do a website for $17, like that's inconsistent. Or like, oh, our slogan is this, and then it's like, those people who like change their slogan like every week, it seems like. That's consistency too. I was talking, the consistency with the social media posting, but I think it's also the consistency with the messaging everywhere else too. Like if our website says you should go here and schedule, but then in person we're telling them, oh, don't worry about scheduling, just message me. Like that just tells you don't have a process or place or anything like that. And that to me gives me uneasiness about it.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that. I think the main thing is your messaging and what you're trying to get across. And I think that translates to website or and then your social media and all that. But yeah, for sure, having a clear message or a clear call to action, and going back to like your services or products that you've named, right? Using that consistently throughout Facebook, throughout the videos that you create, right? Like having this call to action where it's like, if you want to, grow your leads, and okay, the Leads Accelerator program, it's for you, right?
Yeah.
So like we mentioned that on our videos, we mentioned that on our podcast, we mentioned that on our website, we mentioned that everywhere. And I think that, like you're saying, that consistency is what, again, catapults you to something farther than what the competition is doing. Because the competition might have something on their website, but then on social media, they're just like posting links about something random.
Yeah.
There's a disconnect in there.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it like subconsciously builds that trust. But I think for me too, sometimes I've seen a brand for like 6 or 12 months and I'm like, okay, I know this person has this product. Like I just know about it. I've seen videos and I've just been indoctrinated over time. Like maybe on their email list, maybe on their website, like you're saying. But it's just I finally signed up or finally took that next step and purchased because I'm like, oh, they know what they're talking about. It's consistent. It took them 6 to 8 months and they're still hitting me with it. There's obviously something here and it's working. So maybe I'll check in now.
So the last one that we have here is to create a process, right? Package up your service or your product. And again, that not a lot of people are doing that. You talk to someone, and if they have the ability to tell you, oh, you're interested in the website overhaul process, then this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, this is step 4. This is all our deliverables. This is what you get. These are the results that we're going to get you. So being able to say all that will definitely put you in front of a lot of people where, I mean, they might have some sort of process.
Yeah.
But it's having something that's like, you've doubled down on it. You've written it down. You maybe even have it on a little flyer or something. I don't know.
Right. Documented somewhere.
Yeah. Visually, the client can see, oh, wow, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3. Instead of just like we go through these things.
Here, this is what we do.
Right. So I think making that real, putting that on the website, talking about it on social media, talking about it on videos, on your content, it's what moves the needle as far as like you standing out from other people.
And I think this is also part 2 of like the naming process. So like if you name your product, then or your service, like you're already, I would say 100% better than most people, because if you walk around town right now or look at anything like now of your competition, you're going to see nobody's named their process. But then secondly, nobody really has a process behind it. So if you can name it and build a process behind it, it's not even going to be close with your competition. You're going to already be so many leaps and bounds ahead of them. And it may be very similar to your competition, but it's going to help you stand out because people are going to buy into that.
Yeah. And I think, I've experienced this more with when we try to like outsource for copywriters, for example. I want to know, okay, what's your process? And they can never like give me a straight answer. It's like, oh, there's an initial questionnaire and then we go from there.
Yeah.
And it's very much like no, I want to know like day 1, day 2, day 3, what are you doing? Like, so that's why it's good that complementary services like that have processes and have, names, so that it just meshes well with someone who's, already at this level and has this process in place. You're able to just mesh really well. I'm talking here like business to business, contracting.
Does the copywriter that we've used recently, does he have a process? I feel like he does, right? Or
again,
kind of if
yeah.
It's more of like hey, I just want to get as many jobs as possible. I haven't really built something from it. Dang. Well, good to know. All right, so that's all we have for this week. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Marketing Natives. And as we mentioned in the commercial, make sure that you go check out our free training on how to attract, qualify, and convert more leads online with our Leads Accelerator program. If this is your first time listening, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of our content that we put out every single week, whether that's on YouTube or our podcast, whatever popular podcast you're listening to it on. And if you've been listening to us for a while, it's been a couple of months since we've gotten a review, just being honest here. So we would love for you to go over to Apple Podcasts, leave us an honest rating and review, and we will shout you out. It really helps us to know if we're doing a good job. We know you guys are listening. We see the numbers there. But we also want to know, and iTunes wants to know, or Apple Podcasts wants to know that we're doing a good job so we can show and share more people and create more episodes for you guys. So hope you got a lot out of this, and we'll talk to you next time.
The Marketing Natives Podcast is a production of BitBranding.